Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. The Southwest TV Translator Association underwrites the news, and Dolores County Broadcasting Network provides the support for DCTV.
Here at the News at Noon show, we assemble the best and most interesting news we can find from the area, and Jerry Tope brings you the local weather and related news. Give us a call with news tips or topics you'd like to see covered. The number is 677-4119.
We appreciate that you're watching DCTV. Today's show is live on Tuesday at noon and rebroadcast at 2:30 and 8 p.m. and again re-aired at Friday at noon, 2:30 and 8. It's December 13th, 2016. Here's the news at noon. Reported by the Durango Herald, a federal judge dealt a severe setback Monday to a long-shot plan to deny Donald Trump the presidency through the Electoral College, refusing to suspend a Colorado law requiring the state's 9 electors to vote for the presidential candidate who won the state in November. In our case, that was Hillary Clinton. U.S. District Judge Wiley Daniel denied a request by 2 Colorado electors who contended that the law binding their vote to Colorado vote winner Hillary Clinton violated their First Amendment rights and their interpretation of the intents of the Constitution's framers. The electors had sought the right to vote for someone other than Clinton in order to unite behind a consensus Republican other than Trump when the Electoral College convenes on December 19th. Daniel found that suspending the Colorado requirement would have harmed the state's voters and jeopardized a peaceful presidential transition. Part of me thinks this is really a political stunt to prevent Donald Trump from becoming president, said Daniel, who was nominated to the bench by Bill Clinton in 1995. If the Colorado electors had been successful, it could have signaled that similar laws in more than 24 other states could also be overturned, freeing a large number of electors to potentially vote against Trump. Jason Wasowski, who represented the 2 electors, said he may seek an emergency appeal to the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals, the only chance his clients would have of blocking the Colorado law before they have to cast their votes. Should the Colorado electors be freed, some of them hope to persuade enough of their counterparts elsewhere to unite behind a Republican alternative like Mitt Romney. So far, only 1 Republican elector has announced he won't vote for Trump. The president-elect won 306 electors last month to Clinton's 232. An attorney for Trump filed legal papers Monday arguing a suspension of Colorado's law could have sweeping consequences. This is very serious stuff, attorney Christopher Murray said, who also represented the Colorado Republican Party. In court, he said, if you vote as a free agent in the Electoral College, you're taking Colorado voters' voices away. An attorney for the state noted that Colorado's ballot lists only the names of presidential contenders and not electors. Wasowski had argued that voters didn't choose a president on November 8th, only electors who had the right to vote their conscience. Jared Sutton, an elector who is not one of the plaintiffs but also wants to vote for someone other than Clinton if it will block a Trump presidency, said he was disappointed with Monday's result. All states convene their Electoral College delegations on December 19th when their votes are cast, and the final report is delivered officially on January 3rd, 2017. The presidential inauguration then takes place on January 20th, 2017.
According to the Cortez Journal, a Durango man who was driving wildly and fled from a sheriff's deputy pleaded guilty Monday to drunken driving and vehicular eluding. Kenneth Tozer, the third, 28, is expected to be sentenced to behavioral health court, which will require him to obtain a mental health evaluation and comply with the recommendations, which may include treatment, counseling, and intense supervision. If he's accepted into the program and successfully completes behavior court, the felony charges for vehicular eluding will be wiped from his criminal record, in accordance with a plea agreement he signed Monday with the 6th Judicial District Attorney's Office. Tozer, who is free on bail, was driving a 1997 red Dodge pickup north on East Animas Road, County Road 250, at 12:55 p.m. November 2nd, when he passed another driver in a no-passing zone in excess of 60 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone. La Plata County Sheriff's Deputy Thad McNeely was traveling south when he saw Tozer pull into his oncoming lane, forcing the deputy to pull onto the shoulder of the road to avoid being hit head-on, according to an arrest affidavit. The deputy activated his overhead lights, but Tozer sped away. The deputy turned around and pursued the red pickup to Trimble Lane, County Road 252, where Tozer turned left and headed west. The deputy found Tozer driving erratically in circles on the sides of Trimble Lane. He then drove to North Dalton Ranch Road, where he stopped and refused to exit the vehicle. Deputy McNeely held Tozer at gunpoint until backup units arrived to help take him into custody. Tozer had alcohol on his breath, but he was uncooperative during his arrest and did not submit to a blood alcohol test. While in handcuffs, he twice maneuvered his feet through his arms so that his hands were no longer cuffed behind him, according to the La Plata County Sheriff's Office.
A $1.13 billion construction project to provide treated water to remote areas of the Navajo Nation, Jicarilla Apache Nation, and the city of Gallup continues to make progress. This reported by the Cortez Journal. The Navajo Gallup Water Supply Project is being built as part of the 2010 Navajo Nation Water Rights Settlement Act on the San Juan River Basin. Construction began in 2013 with completion estimated for 2024. It is being built by the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation, City of Gallup, Navajo Nation, and Indian Health Service. Diversions from the San Juan River, Navajo Reservoir, and Cutter Reservoir will supply two main laterals serving reservation communities currently lacking treated drinking water. It will also provide Gallup with a more reliable municipal water source. The project entails 300 miles of pipe, 2 water treatment plants, storage tanks, 24 pumping stations, and overhead electrical transmission lines. This fall, Reclamation awarded a $37 million contract to CH2M for water treatment plant south of Bloomfield along the project's Cutter Lateral. Work will also include construction of a pumping plant, 500,000-gallon regulating tank, and maintenance building. Also this fall, Reclamation awarded a second contract valued at $29.3 million to Moltz Constructors, Inc. for construction of Reach 22B of the Cutter Lateral. The project will deliver water to the southwest boundary of the Jicarilla Apache Nation. Then the tribe will construct facilities to points of use on their reservation, including the area around the Apache Nugget Casino. The San Juan Lateral will draw water from a new pumping plant on the San Juan River east of Shiprock and into a nearby new water treatment plant. The water will then be piped south along US 491, serving the Navajo Nation and Gallup. Reclamation is currently constructing the Tolaki pump station and lateral reach 12B of the San Juan Lateral north of Gallup. At the request of the Navajo Nation, work on the San Juan Lateral has begun on the southern portion. Completing the pipeline in this area allows Navajo communities to receive water from wells. The interim use of groundwater is expected to arrive in 2017 versus having to wait until the pipeline from the San Juan River is completed in 2024. Construction on the San Juan Lateral water treatment plant south of the diversion point will begin in 2020. Project construction is well underway on several fronts. As of September 30th, a total of $343.5 million has been obligated toward construction. The Navajo Gallup Water Project diverts about 36,000 acre-feet of water per year from the San Juan River and 4,645 acre-feet per year from Cutter Reservoir, which is fed by Navajo Reservoir. Based on the expected populations in the year 2040, the project would serve approximately 203,000 people in 43 chapters in the Navajo Nation, 1,300 people in the Jicarilla Apache Nation, and about 47,000 people in the city of Gallup.
According to the Durango Herald, the penalties in La Plata County involving Marilex, along with another $60,970 fine for a violation in Garfield County, were approved 8-0. Commissioner John Benton abstained. According to state documents, COGCC staff inspected a Marilex disposal site south of Durango on County Road 310 on July 30th, 2015, and found produced water was leaking from an earthen containment berm. Produced water is leftover water from oil and gas production, the chemistry of which varies from well to well. It is unclear how much produced water leaked at Marilex disposal site. COGCC staffers were in a meeting and public records online did not include that information. Regardless, state records show Marilex disposal was told August 31st, 2015 to take corrective actions no later than July 15th, 2016. However, during a July 19th inspection, a COGCC staffer reported no work has been done to make the containment berm safer. COGCC staff issued a notice of alleged violation on August 26th for the failure to maintain the berm in good condition and ensure that the secondary containment was sufficiently impervious. Marilex President A.M. O'Hare wrote a September 6th response to the violation to the COGCC, disputing the agency's allegation that no work had been conducted. Not only has Marilux completed this work, it has gone above and beyond the requirements, O'Hare wrote. Marilux has committed significant manpower and resources to the upgrading of the facility to prevent future spills. We respectfully request that the violation be vacated. O'Hare told the Durango Herald on Monday that the state inspector refuses to recognize the improvements made at the site, which he claimed were completed prior to the commission's issuance of a violation.
RT reported on this story that the Navajo Nation has filed a $160 million lawsuit against the U.S. government for damages and ongoing injuries caused by an August 2015 mine spill, which released millions of gallons of toxic waste near the tribe's territory. The filing, announced last week, claims that the Gold King mine spill negatively impacted communities along the San Juan River on Navajo Nation territory when it released millions of gallons of toxic waste, including lead, arsenic, and mercury, into the nearby Animas River, ultimately transforming the connecting San Juan River from a life giver and protector to a threat to the Navajo people, crops, and animals. Navajo Nation Attorney General Ethel Branch said in the release, according to USA Today, quote, in particular, it has impaired our ability to maintain the cultural, ceremonial, and spiritual practices that undergird the Navajo way of life. Through this claim and our corresponding lawsuit, we are demanding that the U.S. government finally provide the Navajo Nation relief. The lawsuit is aimed at the Environmental Protection Agency, which has claimed responsibility for the spill. It seeks $159 million in damages, as well as an additional sum of around $3.2 million to cover expenses already submitted to the EPA, which have yet to be reimbursed. A 7-page letter from the tribe to the EPA claims Officer Kenneth Redden described what happened the day of the spill, noting that, quote, shortly after beginning the excavation, the operator hit a spurt of water. Within minutes, a massive volume of toxic water poured out of the mine uncontrollably. It also mentions video footage during the blowout at the mine near Silverton, Colorado, in which a worker reportedly said, "What do we do now?" It goes on to accuse the EPA of having insufficient emergency protocols in place and being entirely unprepared to deal with the colossal damage it had unleashed. The letter also claims the agency failed to notify the reservation's residents of the spill for nearly 2 days and accuses it of ignoring the years-long buildup of contaminants in the Gold King mine despite being on notice of the risk of a blowout. The document stresses that the spill, quote, continues to harm the Navajo Nation and will do so for years to come, noting the ongoing need for medical monitoring, mental health counseling, ecological monitoring, and other programs aimed at identifying and addressing the, quote, near and long-term impacts on the environment and Navajo people. The newest filing comes just 4 months after the Navajo Nation filed a separate suit against the EPA in August. The mine spill ultimately tainted waters in Colorado, New Mexico, and Utah. The Navajo Nation is present in 2 of these states, southwestern Utah and northwestern New Mexico. The territory, which spans 27,425 square miles, also occupies portions of northeastern Arizona.
According to the Cortez Journal, graduation rates have increased over the past 4 years in the Montezuma-Cortez RE1 district, but they remain below state averages, according to the Colorado Department of Education. In October, RE1 district officials released the Indian Policies and Procedures Report, which includes information about student test scores, discipline, activities, and other areas. Graduation rates rose to 52% in 2013, 54% in 2014, and 68% in 2015, the most recent year for which numbers are available. While just 24% of Native American students graduated in 2013, 49% graduated in 2015. CDE will not release exact data on graduation rates for the 2015-16 year until January 12th, but RE1 Superintendent Lori Hockness said Friday that she anticipates that the data will show that the district's graduation rate has continued to improve. In the past several years, Montezuma-Cortez High School has looked to improve its graduation rate by installing additional wraparound services for students, Hockness said. Many students were dropping out of school as seniors, she said. The school has increased academic counseling to monitor students more closely so that when they fall behind in classwork or credits, they have resources to get back on track. MCHS also offers a credit recovery program each summer, Hockness said. Students who missed out on credits or did not complete a class can attend the summer session and complete coursework to get credit for those classes. They avoid having to take the whole class over again, she said. An MCHS teacher also monitors academic performance for students who are at risk of dropping out. And now here's our weather report.
Some showers are expected over the San Juans this evening. These will lift to the north overnight and through the day tomorrow. Tomorrow, the Park and Gore ranges and the flat tops down to near Vail Pass will see what the NWS calls enhanced snows above 8,000 feet. But temperatures are expected to be 4 to 8 degrees above normal, so rain as opposed to snow, elevations and amounts are near impossible to estimate. But they love their jobs and those computers, so they try anyway. The large incoming low beginning late Thursday is a warm air advection with a southwesterly flow and will bring snow levels to the valley floors. If it keeps on track, I quote National Weather Service, it could be a big snowmaker for eastern Utah and western Colorado in the high country. Yet remember that temperature statement, rain or snow, that is the question. And it is exciting and challenging for those fine NWS folks for the system arriving Thursday. But there is precipitation coming, so get your firewood covered. Chances have risen to 80% for Thursday night and 90% for Friday morning and afternoon. Friday night and Saturday morning we'll see some snow as the systems exit the area. The northern parts of our state will be colder for the week. So if you're going that way, remember to take the warm stuff and be prepared for anything. A frontal system from the Mississippi Valley to the Appalachians will bring areas of snow to the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, and portions of the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast today. A front to the south will keep showers and a few thunderstorms possible across the southeastern U.S. through early tomorrow morning. A cold air mass already in place today across the northern plains will be reinforced by the arrival of a fast-moving Arctic frontal boundary tomorrow. High temperatures today and Wednesday are expected to be 20 to 30 degrees below average from the northern plains to the upper Midwest. On Thursday, the front will move rapidly into the eastern U.S. High temperatures are expected to be 15 to 30 degrees below average across the Ohio Valley and portions of the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. This front will also bring lake effect snow activity downwind of the Great Lakes by Wednesday and Thursday. This afternoon, a Pacific low pressure system with strong moisture mechanisms will begin to approach the coast, spreading rain and mountain snow into northern California. Precipitation will continue to expand across the west into Wednesday, spreading into much of the Great Basin, Pacific Northwest, and northern Intermountain West. Colder air already in place will allow that precipitation to fall as snow. Warmer air will gradually push into the region as the low pressure system approaches, raising snow levels Wednesday night and Thursday. The rapid progress of the warm front northward will also result in areas of sleet or freezing rain at lower elevations where cold air could remain trapped. Potential exists for significant snow accumulations across portions of the Great Basin and northern Intermountain West and Pacific Northwest, and some ice accumulations will be possible in the valleys. Flooding rains are possible across much of central and northern California. The threat for heavy precipitation is expected to persist into Thursday. That is because this low has several waves to it that will be moving along the frontal boundary. High temps will warm a bit from mid-40s up to the low 50s on Thursday and then move to the upper 20s by Saturday and Sunday. Lows will be climbing up and then going down also, from upper 20s to just above freezing Thursday and then down into the lower teens for the weekend. So it will be snow and rain Thursday and Friday with some snow continuing into Saturday. Now back to the news.
According to the Cortez Journal, Colorado's economy will continue to expand next year, with the state expected to add 63,400 new jobs, according to the annual forecast by the University of Colorado Boulder's Leeds School of Business. The construction, tourism, and financial services sectors are the top three for job growth, aided by an ongoing demand for new single-family homes, a modest school construction boom, tourism, and a finance and banking sector bolstered by real estate and insurance. Natural resources and mining are the only sectors that are lagging, dogged by a slowdown in oil and coal production and another dramatic drop in agriculture income caused by low commodity prices. Rich Wobekind, chief economist at the CU Leeds School, said the state continues to benefit from its diverse economy, one which can absorb the hit from the oil and gas slowdown because it has a more diverse economy now than it did even 25 years ago. Wobekind also said he expects little immediate impact from President-elect Donald Trump's promises to change major parts of the economy, including the Affordable Care Act, various international trade agreements, and energy policy. I don't see a lot of the things being proposed happening quickly enough to have too much impact in 2017, he said, with the exception of corporate tax reform. One reason the stock markets have been performing so well since the election, he said, is because corporations are giddy about the prospect of a 15% corporate tax rate, down from current rates as high as 35%.
Last week's CO2 average is in at 403.87. Week before last was 404.38. 1 year ago at 401.25, and in 2006 at this time of year the number was 381.41. Yesterday we talked about event attribution science, a relatively new phrase to me but not to science. And at the end I said that the scientific thinking in climate change issues is not widely reflected in public understanding. This needs to be remedied, but it will be a challenge. While scientists have known for decades that changes in some classes of extreme weather would result from climate change, the science of attributing individual extreme events to global warming has only advanced significantly in recent years. To cover a great number of extremes and achieve a greater speed of scientific analysis. And there are huge leaps in technology continuing as we speak, like the GOES-R satellite we mentioned last month. Unfortunately, the communication of this science outside the extreme event research community has, with a few notable exceptions, not fully reflected these advances. The media, politicians, and some scientists outside this area of research still often claim that, quote, we can't attribute any individual event to climate change. This may have been true in the 1990s, but it is no longer the case. And good grief, that's a quarter of a century of high tech in the past. Part of the problem is that for a long time, many scientists themselves repeated this message by sticking to the generic explanation that many of the extreme weather events witnessed in recent years were consistent with projections of climate change. Although the science had moved well beyond this general explanation to specific event attribution. However, there are some cases in which scientists can say more about attributing the underlying factors behind an extreme event than the specifics of the event itself. This complexity can create confusion and lead to missed communication opportunities. Therefore, it is not surprising that it is taking a while for public awareness to catch up with the science. We're here to help.
According to the Cortez Journal, Extrov Realty completed one of the final steps to opening a new and expanded office during the Cortez Planning and Zoning Commission meeting on December 6th. The Cortez-based real estate company has been working to convert a building on Montezuma Avenue into a new office since July. At Tuesday's meeting, Associate Planner Neva Connolly presented an amended site plan for the office on behalf of Extrov broker owner Catherine Chaffin. The board unanimously approved the plan, which expanded on the building's originally proposed parking spaces and improved street access, clearing the way for the new location to open in January. In spring, Extrov plans to convert the building's second story into 2 residential apartments, though those plans still require city approval. Extrov has been doing business in Montezuma County for a little more than 3 years, and Chaffin said it has outgrown its current headquarters in 303 North Broadway. She hopes that by moving into a space 4 times the size of her old one Extrov will be able to attract more real estate agents and more business. Moving headquarters to a residential street near City Market will also make it more convenient for clients, Chaffin said. Businesses, besides the new location, has sentimental value for Chaffin and many other longtime residents.
The Mancos Conservation District is planning a series of grazing land management workshop sessions in 2017. This reported from the Cortez Journal. This course is ideal for large and small acreages, new and seasoned producers who want to improve forage productivity, soil health, quality of life, and profitability. During this 6-day course, participants will learn the holistic decision-making process. They will also learn to create biological monitoring, grazing and land management plans, learn to manage the holistic way to naturally improve your land, quality of life, and bottom line. The cost for all 6 sessions is $300. Full and partial scholarships are available to people who apply by January 14th. Cost for a second person in the family or business is $150. The classes will take place at the Mancos Public Library Community Room. Sessions on January 28th and February 4th will cover whole farm and ranch planning basics. The February 18th and 25th sessions will cover holistic grazing, planning, and management. March 4th session will cover holistic land planning and management, and May 20th will be a biological monitoring field day with a location to be announced. Instructor Cindy DeVertson is a holistic management certified educator with more than 25 years of experience working with family farms. Her hands-on style helps clients realize immediate benefits from training and consultation. She uses practical know-how gained from her own farming background and that of her clients to help you achieve your best possible outcomes. As a farmer, rancher, or land manager, you know that one of your greatest assets is the land you work with, and managing that land can be tough due to weather conditions, environmental pressures, and high input costs. This course was designed to help you regenerate your land for better soil health, biodiversity, productivity, and profitability using grazing animals through the practice of holistic management. Participants will leave this hands-on course with clear goals and strategies about how to best manage your grazing land resources, a completed holistic grazing plan, and a land plan for infrastructure, livestock, water, fencing, irrigation, and crops. They will also learn techniques for observing, evaluating, and monitoring land health and leave with a network of fellow learners. For more information and how to register, call Cindy at 970-882-4222 or email wnc@gobrainstorm.net or register online at holisticmanagement.org. The course is offered by Holistic Management International and Whole New Concepts LLC in cooperation with High Desert Conservation District, Mancos Conservation District, Four Corners Farming and Ranching Coalition, Rocky Mountain Farmers Union, and National Young Farmers Coalition.
And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of December 5th through the 11th. 2 separate incidents of a dog at large were reported in town this week. The animal control officer was dispatched for both. A deputy responded for a civil standby as well as to take a formal report of an ongoing neighbor dispute in town. A representative from a government office requested investigation of a second-hand verbal threat from a county resident to another county resident. Charges are pending investigation. An early morning structural fire started in an unoccupied utility building at Dunton Hot Springs. The following agencies responded: Dolores County Sheriff's Office, Rico Fire and Rescue, Dolores County Road and Bridge, the U.S. Air Force, Dolores Fire Department, Mancos Fire Department, Empire Electric, and Southwest Memorial Ambulance. There were no human or animal casualties. However, the structure and its contents were a loss. A county resident motorist reported a reckless driver on Highway 491. 2 separate occurrences of open line 911 calls from locations in town were both determined to be accidental. That's it for today's roundup. Stay tuned for continuing updates.
December 15th, Trails 2000 is inviting people to attend a community meeting from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Mancos Town Hall, 117 North Main Street, to discuss the concept of a multi-use path between Mancos and Cortez. This proposed multi-use path would provide a safe alternative route along U.S. Highway 160 that will connect to Mesa Verde National Park, the BLM, Phil's World Trail Park, the Southwest Colorado Community College, and the Montezuma County Fairgrounds. There will be an opportunity to view a short presentation, ask questions, and give input on possible trail routes through hands-on mapping. This is the best opportunity to provide input on the proposed trail. A second public meeting will be held in Cortez after the preliminary alignments have been developed. Contact Trails 2000 at 4682 for additional information. And Friday, December 16th, Craftapalooza will happen at the Cortez Public Library from 1 to 3 p.m. Make some crafts to start out the season. Other area organizations will be represented. The library is at 202 North Park Street, and details call 970-565-8117. And also the Cortez Cultural Center is hosting hay rides with a teen hay ride at 6:30 p.m. and a happy hour hay ride at 7:30 p.m. Pre-registration is required, so call 970-565-1151. And be sure to mark Saturday, December 17th for the State Line Bar and Grill's Ugly Sweater Christmas Party. Starting at 9 p.m., there's free shuttles and drink specials and prizes are available. The links and phone numbers and all of that are posted on DCTV News at Noon's Facebook page. And we embed the YouTube video for replays of the live show on demand and thrown in the DCTV 5-day forecast graphic as well. Our email is dcbnnews@gmail.com and the station number is 677-4119. Contact us with your event or news story and we'll be sure to share it on air.
Thanks for tuning in. A reminder that this program is aired live at noon Monday through Wednesday, then rebroadcast at 2:30 and 8 p.m. and again aired Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the same order at noon, 2:30, and 8 p.m. each day respectively.
We'd love you to like us on Facebook and tell a friend about the local DCTV news program.
For Kendra Cook, Jerry Tope, and everyone at DCTV with the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.